Hello friends, wish you a very good day. Today we are presenting a 90-watt digital soldering station model DSS36 which is sold by India Enterprises. This is a very popular soldering station these days and it's wisely used for general purpose application including SMD and through hole soldering. So let's start and switch it on. The, the power cable is connected on the rear side of the station and soldering iron, the hand piece, is connected on the front side. We will just, it's a push fit type connection. The soldering iron is now connected to the main unit and then we will switch it on by this switch button. See, we can see the temperature is rising. We are using the 3-pin plug with this station. However, this external grounding cord is also provided along with the unit if we want to connect the unit to the ESD grounding. See, this is the banana plug. We can insert the banana plug inside this unit and connect this crocodile clip to the ESD grounding. By pressing this up button, we can increase the temperature and vice versa by pressing this down button. The maximum temperature is 480 degree and minimum temperature range is 80 degree. See, we can show you the minimum temperature range also. The preferable temperature setting is around 350 degree. If we continuously press the up button, the temperature will increase rapidly. See, now it has achieved the set temperature of 350 degree. Various types of soldering bits are available for this soldering unit, like chisel type, round type and knife type. This knife type soldering bit is specially used for SMD component soldering, and other bits are used for either for SMD or through hole soldering. So this soldering unit can be used for both type of application like SMD and through hole soldering. Then we will move to next step, is that we will measure the tip temperature and see if any variation is there with the set and actual temperature. Then we will calibrate this unit. This is a very unique type of soldering sponge. It is used for cleaning the excess soldering which is deposited on the soldering bit. We can before using it, we need to soak it with water and just squeeze it to remove the excess water and see how we should clean the soldering bit. Soldering bit, we should use this space for cleaning the soldering bits. It should not be done like this way, it should be done only this way. So this is the right way to clean the soldering bits, by just rubbing the soldering bit with the hollow space. See, this is the calibration meter which is used for measuring the tip temperature. Just need to wet the soldering bit with fresh solder and just place the soldering tip on this thermocouple. We will measure the tip temperature. Now the set temperature is 350 degree, whereas the actual temperature is 360 degrees. So there is a variation, excess temperature of 11 degrees Celsius around. Then we will calibrate it. The process of calibration is, first we need to press this star button, then simultaneously press the up and down button. The display will start flashing. The first digit, now 3 is flashing. We need to feed the temperature which we have measured on the calibrator. The temperature on calibrator was 360 degree. We need to just feed same value here. Then we press the star button to move the cursor, and we will just give the value 360 degree and then press the star button once again to exit the calibration mode. Now we will again measure the tip temperature to see if the offset value we have given is accepted. Yes. Now the actual temperature and the set temperature is almost matching, 350 degree on the display and 350 degree on the calibrator. So this is how the calibration is done. This soldering unit is equipped with a unique feature, lock. We can lock this soldering unit to prevent the operator for exceeding the set temperature. Suppose if we have set the temperature is like 350 degree, we will show you how to lock this unit. First switch it off, then press up and down button simultaneously and switch the unit on. This three blank will be flashing. First we need to insert the default password. Default password is 000. Then press star button, then again 0, then press star button, again 0. Then we need to press the star button once again, okay, and again star. Now we can then just feed the desired password. Like suppose if you want to use 111, we will just feed the 111 password here, press the up button, then move to next step, star, press star, then again star, then again press star and exit the, oh sorry, we need to just repeat the process once again, then press star, again press star and 1. Now the password has been set to 111. Now we can see the temperature is, we can increase or decrease, but once we switch it off and switch the unit back on, now nobody can change the temperature. The temperature is fixed to 350 degree, and the operator cannot change the temperature on his own. Only the supervisor who knows the password can change the temperature. See, this is a very unique feature to prevent the operator to increase or decrease the temperature according to his choice and maintain the uniformity in temperature. Thanks.
Hello friends, the product in front of you is a DSF 36 90 watt digital soldering station sold by India Enterprises. We will give you an overview of this product, and complete details will be shared with you. So let's start and open the box. This is the shipping box, and we will show you the contents shipped inside this box. This is the operating manual, the calibration certificate, the main control unit, then digital 90 watt control unit. This is the support rack for keeping the soldering iron. This is the soldering iron. It is kept here on this support rack. This is the cleaning sponge. See how this cleaning sponge is getting ready for use. This is the power cord. This is the grounding wire. Now, first this chisel tip is supplied along with this soldering iron. This is standard 2.4 mm width chisel tip. But a few other tips are also available on demand, like chisel tip, pointy tip, assembly tip, slope tip. So variety of soldering tips are available. So we will show you how to change the tip. first we need to just unscrew this nut and barrel assembly and take it out. Then we can replace the optional tip which you will get, and this is how the soldering tip is replaced. And now the screw is tightened once again, and the soldering iron is now ready to use. Now this is a 230 volt AC power supply is used to power on this unit. See, this power cord is inserted inside this socket, and this is not connected to the main power supply. External grounding cord is also supplied, which we can use for optional grounding purpose. Normally, if 3-pin plug is used, then there is no need to use this external power cord. But we will show you this banana plug is inserted on the rear side of this unit. This is how this banana plug is inserted, and the crocodile clip is connected to the external grounding cord. Now this cleaning sponge. Now we move to the cleaning sponge. Actually, it is soaked with water before. It's now soaked with water before it is ready to use. So first we will apply some water on it, and then it will be little bit. It will expand, and now see, after soaking with water, it has expanded, and now it is ready to use. Now we will connect the soldering iron to the main unit and switch the unit on. These arrow shaped push buttons are available on the front panel for increasing or decreasing the temperature. The lowest temperature is 80 degree, and the highest temperature is 480 degree. By pressing this down button, we can decrease the temperature. See, you can see it has attained the lower temperature range. Now we will increase the temperature by pressing this up button. Now it has attained the maximum temperature, which is 480 degree. But we recommend you to keep the temperature at around 350 degree, which is sufficient for normal soldering application. Perfect. Now it will gradually achieve the set temperature, which is 350 degree, and then it will stabilize. Now the unit is ready to use. See, this soldering station has a very unique feature of password protection, and if this password protection is enabled, then operator cannot change the temperature according to his choice. We will explain how it is used. See, in normal condition, the operator can change the temperature by pressing the up or down button. But if we change the default password, then the operator cannot change the temperature. See, for this changing the password, we need to switch the unit off, then press up and down button simultaneously and switch the unit on. Then the cursor will start blinking. The default password is 000. By selecting the star and up or down button, we can select the default password 000. Then press star button. Then press star button again if you want to change the temperature. Suppose if we input the new password like 111 by pressing star button, and we need to repeat the process once again by using the star button and up or down button. Then we can see the temperature, the password we have changed. Now we will switch the unit on, and we will see whether we can change out the temperature or not. No. Now we can see we can clearly see that the operator cannot change the temperature. So this feature is very useful when the supervisor want to maintain the uniformity of temperature, and he can now protect this soldering station from the operator, and then the operator cannot change the temperature according to his own choice. See, nowadays calibration is an essential feature which every soldering station should have, and this calibration is also required to maintain the ISO standards and for uniform soldering applications. This soldering station DSF 36 is also having the calibration facility. Inbuilt calibration feature is there, and we will show you how to calibrate this soldering station with the help of an external calibrator. An external calibrator is required to calibrate the soldering station. We are using INDE 19180 calibrator for this calibration purpose. First, we need to just check the set temperature. Set temperature is now is 350 degree. We will apply some fresh solder on the soldering bit. I think we should clean the soldering bit first. So this is how the soldering tip is clean, and then we will apply fresh solder on the soldering bits and measure the actual temperature with the help of external calibrator. See, the set temperature is 350, whereas the actual temperature on this calibrator is 390. We will now make some adjustment to calibrate this unit. First, we need to press the star button, then up and down button simultaneously. The cursor will start blinking. For moving the cursor to the next step, we need to use the star button. Now we will input the same value which we have observed on the calibrator, and that was 390 degree. We have input the same this value here. Now this unit is entered into the calibration stage, and now it is being calibrated. And after the calibration process is complete, he will again verify whether the changes made by us have been accepted by the unit or not. See, the now set temperature is 350, whereas the actual temperature is 349. So in this way we have calibrated this unit, and this is very useful feature nowadays which every soldering station should have. This is a very useful tool which can be connected to this DSF 36 control unit. This is a thermal tweezer which is used for reworking small chip components like small capacitors, small chip resistors and inductors, etc. So we will show you the contents of this box. This is the operating manual, and this is silicon pad for changing the triplets, and this is the thermal tweezer hand piece, and this is support rack for keeping the thermal tweezer. We will take out this thermal tweezer. The model of this thermal tweezer is ITW50, and it can be connected to this DSF 36 control unit. We need to remove this soldering iron first, and then connect this thermal tweezer to the main control unit. Then we will switch the unit on and see the temperature is rising, and it will slowly achieve the set temperature, and after that this thermal tweezer will be ready to use. Now we will take out this thermal tweezer, and it is now in hot condition. We will apply some solder and see. We will apply some solder on it that these triplets are very hot. See, this tweezers, the width of this tweezer tip can be adjusted. Yeah, in this way. In this way, it can just melt the solder and rework the small components, small chip components. The next thing is to few other triplets are also supplied. In fact, these are optional. Few other different type of triplets are available for different type of chip components. We will show you how to replace these triplets. First, we need to switch unit off, and then by using this silicon pad, with the help of this silicon pad, we can change the tips even in the hot condition. This is how we need to remove the other barrel also. Then we will use other triplets. To align the triplets, in a proper way, so that it can hold these chip components effectively. This is how the triplets are changed. This is another useful product which can be used with the Indemake soldering station. We will introduce you this semi-automatic type solder feeder system, which is a very useful product for uniform soldering, and it also avoids wastage of solder wire. So we will unbox it and we will show you the contents of this packing. This is the operating manual. This is the solder feeder unit. This is the feeding tube assembly, and this is the power cord. These cable ties are also supplied for connecting the feeding tube with the soldering iron. So let us see how it is connected to the soldering iron. First, we need to insert these. We need to connect the solder wire feeder tube with the soldering iron. Please ensure both the units are off to avoid any damage to the operator. See, this is how this feeding tube is mounted on the soldering iron. See, some alteration will be required to align this feeding tube, so that the solder wire can be guided to the soldering tip. We can use few cable ties which are supplied along with this feeder system to attach this feeding tube to the soldering iron. So this is how this feeding tube assembly can be connected to the soldering iron. Now we will feed the solder wire. So different type of feeding tube assemblies are supplied. See, we need to just loosen this screw first, and then insert this part of this feeding tube here, and then just tighten the screw once again, and then connect this banana plug
on the rear side of this unit. The next part is feeding the solder wire. We are using 1 mm type feeding attachment, so we should use the solder wire having diameter of 1 mm. We need to just lift this cover first before inserting the solder wire, and see. Yeah, you can see that in this way the solder wire can be fed through this guide attachment. Then we will connect the power cord to switch this unit on. The power cord is also connected on the rear side of this unit. Then this metal plate is kept back on the unit. First we need to feed the solder wire till it reaches the soldering tip. You can see the solder wire is moving, and it is being moved through this guide attachment, this feeder tube attachment, and soon it will appear here on the soldering tip. And now we will explain the features of this SFS81 solder feeder system one by one. Let's start from the length. First one is the length. You can see there are 3 digits on the front panel. By pressing this push buttons, we can adjust the length of solder wire to be fed. The feeding length ranges from 0.15 mm to 150 mm. At when the all 3 digits are 0, the solder wire fed will be 0.15 mm, and when this length is at 999, the length of solder wire to be fed will be 150 mm. So then move to the next, return. This return feature is very important to avoid wastage of this solder wire. When zero is on this panel, then the return feature is disabled, and at 9 the returning length will be around 25 mm. So according to the set value, the set length of solder wire will be returned, and in this way the wastage of solder wire will be avoided. Then the feeding speed. Feeding speed, there are few digits which denotes the speed of solder wire to be fed. At 0 it will be 2.7 mm per second, and at 9 the solder wire feeding speed will be 27 mm per second. Then the feeding interval time. Feeding interval time is the time interval between two soldering joints when the mode is enabled. So the feeding interval time at 0 is disabled, and at 9 the feeding interval time is 2.7 seconds. Then the mode. The last one is the mode. When 0 is set on this mode button, then then it will be in manual operating mode, and when the mode is set suppose at 5 or 2 or 3, the set length of solder wire will be fed. Suppose if mode is at 5, then set length of solder wire will be fed 5 times after the interval. If we need to enable the interval mode, if we select the mode. So at now we can see
that interval is at 2, and we have selected mode 5, then when we press this finger switch, the set length of solder wire will be fed 5 times after interval of the set interval time. We will show you. See, we have seen the set length of solder wire was fed 5 times after set interval time, after gap of set the interval time. That's all.
See, we are showing you how to reset the password of this DSS36 soldering station. Suppose if anybody forgot the password, then there is a method to reset the password. See how it is done. Switch the unit off, press up and down button simultaneously and switch the unit on. These three blank will be flashing. We need to feed the reset password, which is 236. Use the up button to enter 2, and then again press the star button, and again up button to achieve 3. Again press star button and just insert 6, and then again press star button. Now the default password like 000 has been changed. Now the default password is 000, and now we can again change the password if required. Thanks for watching. Hello friends, today we are going to explain the troubleshooting steps for this DSS36 soldering station. Suppose in case it stops working, then there are few parameters we need to check, and so let's start and see the first step. First we will see whether the fuse fuse on the rear side of this station is in good condition or not. First thing, we need to just remove this power socket and remove this grounding cord also if it is connected. Then just pull out this fuse holder. So we need to check the continuity of this fuse with the help of an multimeter. See, the continuity is perfect and fuse is okay. In case this continuity is not proper and you find that fuse is faulty, then there is extra fuse also provided on this in this socket, and you can replace the fuse with a good one if the previous fuse is faulty. So now we will insert this fuse holder back by just pushing it inside this socket. Second step is if the display shows HE or SE error. This HE error denotes that there might be some problem with the heating element, and if SE is appearing on the display, it means that there might be some problem with the sensor or sensor circuit or sensor. Now we can see that HE is flashing on the display. It means that the heating element has gone bad, and we will check with the help of multimeter whether this heating element is faulty or not. First thing, we switch it off and just take out this soldering iron. First thing we need to do is to just remove this barrel. It is also called tip retainer, and same process is used for replacing the soldering tip. Then we need to just unscrew this nipple. It is also called heating element retainer. Then just take out this cord on which this heating element is mounted, and we can see there are two wires two wires red wires. These are of heater, and two blue wires also. These are of sensor. We will check the resistance of between these two red wires. These red wire are of heating element. The resistance is close to infinity, more than 20 mega ohm. So it is a clear indication that heating element has gone bad. And we will also check the resistance of these two blue wires. It should be close to 50 ohm. Now we can see the resistance between these two blue wire is also infinity. It is more than 20 mega ohm. It means both the heating element and sensor are faulty. See, because the heating element and sensor are integrated, we need to replace this heating element. First, we will check the this resistance of heating element and sensor of a good one heating element. See, this is a new heating element. We need to just uncover it, and first we will check the resistance between two red wire and then between the two blue wire. See, the resistance between two red wire is 4 ohm. It should be close to 5 ohm or less than 5 ohm, and resistance between two blue wire should be close to 50 ohm. Yeah, it is close to 50 ohm. So this is a good heating element, and we need to replace this the faulty heating element with this good one, and then we will see that the problem we were facing will be resolved. This is how the troubleshooting is done. If we face any difficulty while operating this soldering station. Thanks for watching.